Morning all. I'm in like Flynn this morning. And yes, I've got so many things to list. It's beginning to get a little bit on top of me. Had about 20 things to pack this morning, which was fun. Let me just get everything set up nicely. I was watching a bit of Thrift Up Look Sharp this morning, buying some, it looked like pepper pots. Had a bit of Shelster Live, all good stuff. So I'm totally disorganised. As ever, I want to get my little book of things to list. There's no one here anyway, so no one's missing anything. Here we go again. Someone's turned up. Oh, hello. A few people have turned up. Turned up. Walk out the room and you come back and there's 4 people here. Does Sell Similar work? Do you know what? I think I'm still of the thought that it does, but I did love the numbers, the spreadsheets. A little bit tricky to measure, really. You know, that's sold, so it doesn't contribute to this. So very difficult to compare eggs with eggs. But I always do it, and the reason I do it is because, and I totally get why you might not be bothered if you don't think it's worth the hassle. But I always review my prices anyway. So, and I don't like eBay creating the new listing automatically and just sort of like churning. So every day I will go in and sort things by end date, and I go, right, what's ending in the next 24 hours? It's the old Derek Payne method. So sometimes I miss them, but you know, and then I go, okay, these lot are ending, their little end dates in red. I'll end those myself and then cut the price by 5 or 10%, depending on watchers. So there is that process as well. I used to just flip it across, thinking, it'll sell. But I do find the end the listing and do a Sell Similar a good process reminder to review. But yeah, it was interesting video yet again from Simon and Faye, of course, in the background. Whatever. Hello Pete, hope you're well. Have you been sourcing? Did you go to the A3? Thought about going to the A3. I thought about going over the M25 over that way, journeying east into the east. In the end, I went to Hook, and for a very long time, I thought I'm not going to get anything here. This is terrible. Okay, thanks, Philip. I'll talk about that in a minute. I thought it was going to be terrible, and then I hit upon one stall, and he was selling clothes, and it was all loads of really good stuff. And I got his number as well, which was a good thing. I should do a video about it, but I probably won't. So yeah, 3K. Yeah, I thank you very much. I was 3K probably about a year and a half ago, or maybe 2 years ago, and then it dipped, and then it went up, and then it goes up and down like a yo-yo. But you know, it's always nice, isn't it? I think if I went below 3K, I'd cry myself to sleep. Hello, Ryan. Good to see you. Did I say hello, Rosie? Hello, Antoinette. And 15 out of 35 didn't increase. Yeah, I saw that. It seemed like, you know, some do, some don't. I think that if it throws a spanner in the works of your process, i.e. if you've got a cross list or any of those things, it's probably a bad idea. But if it helps you, little memory jogger, to review the price anyway, it's a good thing. Oh, he was selling. So yeah, very interesting. I mean, I think if you don't do Sell Similar and it just ticks over, if the same item ticks over into the new month, so here we go. I'll put a pen on eBay for £10, and I list it, and it gets that initial boost first 2, 3, 4 days. eBay will go, there's a pen. But if it's £10, no one's going to buy it. And then if it automatically goes into the new month at £10, the same's going to happen. And if you do sell similar, it will get the same boost. So you've got a review. What am I saying? Am I saying it makes no difference? I may well be. But it, like I say, I think it's it depends what your other processes are. He was selling at the A3. You need to get some sun cream. Looks like a cherry tomato on a block of feather. Hello, Neil. Hello, Mark. I saw Mark a few weeks ago. I didn't do Easter. Did my shoulder in. Not only has loads of things been going on around here, apart from like reselling, I also did my shoulder in. So I did not do Sunday, Easter Sunday, or Bank Holiday Monday. So I had to get out this weekend. Right, so I've got a couple of items I can't find, which is brilliant. I seem to have repeated a number in my SKUs, number 236 and 237 in clothing. But the good thing is, I know they're here. It's just, of course, I should ask Liz where they are, but she'll find it in a matter of seconds. The good thing is that they were listed on the 20th of April. So they're only listed like just over a week ago. They've sold, obviously. I'll tell you what, this is a very valuable pen. Very valuable pen. Right. Yes, those have been good. Got that little chunk of consistency going on with the clothing. I'll let you know a few clothing sales while I'm here, because I'm thinking that what the hell I'm going to list. I haven't sorted anything out, and I'll ask you another thing as well about process, which will be handy. Okay, let's have a look at some orders that have gone through. So I've just sold today an old pair of trainers for £7.19. Glad they're gone. I've also sold an old Wallace blue denim jacket, old bit of clothing. That's gone for £12. Happy about that. A Sony AEC power adapter, £7.99. So this is all kind of old stuff. This is fairly recent. I haven't got how much I paid, but it would have only been a couple of quid. Pair of CTAS sold for £12.99. Couple of Star Wars toys sold for £7.99, which is nice. That's again part of the big ATAT bundle I bought for £70. So that's all just clearing the remnants of it. And then the item I can't find, which is a Fred Perry shirt. I haven't put how much I've paid for it, which I normally do, but let's see if I can find it. It's terrible when you there it is. I paid £3 for it. It should be in that bag, but it's not. I might have another look. But it's sold for 24. So it should be in here. This is stuff ready to go into a box. I don't know why I'm looking again. I know it's right there. I've already looked once. Oh, it's a pain. I've also got to try and find a Darth Vader Jax game, which is sold for like $6.99. It's annoying. Adidas polo shirt, Climber Cool. Not good things to pick up, but I did only pay £3. It sold for $8.99, so not great. But then a NFL top sold for £25, and I paid £2.50. So I really am. I think with the clothes, there's a bunch of stuff that I'm have sold, and I'm like, I paid £2-3 and it's selling for like 10 to 15, and it's like, oh, that ain't great. And then there's other stuff I might have paid, I don't know, maybe up to a five and maybe a bit more, but it's selling for 25 plus. And that is stuff you want to get. It's just finding it. But yeah, I had a touch at Hook finding this stall with a guy who was selling like loads of good clothing, and I got his number as well. So I'm going to hotfoot it around to his house and see what I can get. No, I was at Hook, Mark. I was at Hook. That's sold. That's it. That's a legally binding contract. So it was because I did my shoulder and I was feeling a bit kind of like, oh my God. And I didn't want to get up I normally get up at 4:30 for that one. So I got up at 5 o'clock instead and went down Hook. No Peter Ray there either this week. He was taking the week off. He might pop in later. Other stuff, I've sold a vintage matchbox, which was part of the board game or gaming old vintage games bundle. There was like Test Match and loads of old vintage games I got at the back end of last year. I think I did a video on it. But again, this is just sort of gravy on top. Sold for $10.79 plus postage. So, when you've trebled or 4 times or 5 times your money on something, and then just something comes through and it's a £10 sale, it's like, that's like money out of nothing, really. Adidas polo shirt, another polo shirt, $8.99. A fixation clamp. Peter Stride might be interested in this. When you get those steering wheels and they don't work, which does happen, on some of the better ones, the clamps are worth money. So I sold the clamp for $28.99. And I wouldn't really have thought of doing that, but yeah, well worth it. And then just a few other bits and bobs. A Mountain Warehouse. With Mountain Warehouse, I now know to avoid. They always have sales on anyway. But I had a little puffer gilet. That sold for $11.89. Bought it for $4. So it's kind of like probably doubling my money. A postage on top of that, of course. And then a pair of Adidas original trainers, which I bought in a charity shop. And they were, I think they were £6, but sold for $35.99. So that's the sort of thing you want to do. A Newcastle polo top. Polo tops are almost impossible. So I bought this Newcastle polo top for £2, sold for £10. But a Tommy Jeans shirt, I paid £3, sold for $26.99. A Dale of Norway woolen jumper, it's a very old one that was kicking around, sold for £35, which I think was quite cheap, but a lot of the threads were knackered on it. Tommy Hilfiger hoodie fleece, bought for $5, sold for $32. So, I'm learning quickly as to what to concentrate on. Well, you can give me all the clamps if you want, because if you can give me 50 clamps, I'll sell them for $28.99, free post. Yes, bring forth the clamps, Mr. Happy Chap. Now, I hope you're doing well, though. Let me know if you're going down the A3 or any of my local ones again, and I might try and pop down and see you down there. We'll see how we do. Right, what the hell am I going to list? Right, here's the process question. So when I go to a boot fair, not only does the stuff go on QuickBooks and the stuff goes on the spreadsheet as well, because it's my first year doing QuickBooks, I also always write it down. So I have this big long list of stuff. And with the clothing, okay, I'm skewing the clothing because I'm mainly doing clothes now. I'm skewing clothing, and so all this is clothing here, okay. But what I have been doing is only skewing it when I list it. This isn't making sense at all, but I will continue. So if I get something with a problem, I don't skew it. I kind of like, oh, that needs a button, or that needs that little mark looking at, or that needs something doing to it. That goes in the to be handled later bag. But the trouble is, I get all these SKUs, and then when I go back, I have to think, oh, what number was I on? So I think what I'm going to do with clothing, with those same item things, is to say, even if they need work, I'm going to skew it, because it then means all my SKUs are in a row, and I should know where I am, and I shouldn't lose Fred Perry shirts. It's here somewhere. So apart from the big clothing bundle I got a load of Dreamcast magazines at at the boot fair. So I know Pete does love a magazine, and I think they're worth quite a bit. I saw a guy selling Amigas, and he had a Game & Watch. He had an N64, but the prices were, it was a collector's price. So I asked about the Amiga, and he wanted 120 quid, and I was like, I'm not really interested, because it's the sort of thing that I would get and sell, and I'd expect to double my money. So anyway, I kind of was chatting to him and said, I'm not going to buy it, but it's very good stuff. And I was telling him about, I got like a CD32, is it? The Amiga console, because he had a couple of discs. And then I said, I picked up some Dreamcast magazines. And he was going, no, I'd be interested in swapping. I think he used to work in like a CEX type shop. And this was right at the kind of end of the boot fair, and I wanted to go home. And I said, I'll bring them up here and maybe we could do a swap. But in the end, I just couldn't be asked, to be honest. I just wanted to go home. And I thought, why does he said he wanted him for his collection, but, did he? He's obviously he looked like he knew the value of them. Anyway, so I checked them out. And the first one I checked, even without the cover CD, was about 40 quid. So I think I've got like 12, 15 of these magazines, and I've got about 17. I've written it down, actually. How many have I got? Is it 12? Yeah, 12 Dreamcast mags and 17 CDs. So if they average out like 20 quid each, that's like 340 quid. And thinking about it, if I'd have swapped that for an Amiga and the Amiga hadn't worked, or I swapped it for a Game & Watch, or it just seemed more hassle to, take an N64. I mean, it seems blindly obvious that you would swap 12 magazines for an N64, but maybe not. Maybe the magazines are worth 300 plus, and your N64 is worth like 70 quid or something. So yeah, magazines, eh? They can surprise you, as you might well know, because I have managed to do a 3,000 viewed video, which is a bit better than my normal like few hundred, on my magazine sales. Anyway, tell me what you're listing. Tell me what you picked up, and I will go and grab some things. So they should be the next things in the list. I should go through this and deal with everything I've got in order, whether that be like number it and put it aside and go, that needs work. I shouldn't skip to the stuff I've just sourced, which is very tempting to do. I always have done it, which is why I've ended up with piles of crap all over the place. So I'm going to grab some bits. I've got a feeling that I'm going to start listing, and the bloody Fred Perry shirt's going to appear. So it's clothing. Although I will get a couple of electronic things. Yeah, I got a 3DS and a DSi XL, which I got a while. At the first boot fair, I went down in Swanley. So we'll check these out. There's 2 boxes here. I've got these 2 games with them, and there's no games in them. But I'm not too worried about that, because they are crap games. So what I will do with these is we'll chuck those. I didn't put them in here, did I? What have I got in here? Oh yeah, there's one. Is that the other one? Yes. Oh, bloody idiot! It's me taking them out. This morning, I will mostly be listing vinyl. That's good to hear. Now, what was I going to ask Chris? Oh yeah, it was Chris has the process of when he goes to a boot fair. He I remember this from when he was talking to Aaron. He writes down everything he gets and then takes a photo of his stock, takes a photo of the list, and then uploads it onto his QuickBooks and transfers. He goes to the boot fair with money he has, which he's got from another account, and then when he knows the exact amount that he spent at the boot fair, he will transfer that money. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, but I think this is how you do it. So you transfer that money. So I thought this was a very good idea. So like this weekend, I went to the boot fair with a couple of £100, 250 or something, which I got from joint accounts and not my account that I use for my business. And then when I got back, I know that I spent £234.50 at the boot fair. So I will transfer £234.50 from my account I use for my business into the joint account. So there's a transfer. And then I will go into QuickBooks and see that. And I will attach the photo. And I don't do the list, but yeah, I could. I've got the list. I've got the list here. But Chris, my question is, after that long-winded explanation, is do you worry too much if there's a bit of a delay? Because I haven't. You should do it the same day, I guess. I should get back on Sunday and go, right, I've spent £234.50. Go into my banking app and do that transfer. But I never do because I'm always like falling asleep. And, this Sunday I was just lying in the garden, like snoozing, and thought, oh, I'll do that later. I'll do that after dinner. I'll do that after lunch. And I never did it. And I should do it today. And last boot fair I went to, I think I left it for about 6 days. I don't think it really matters, because it is just like, well, the money for those items was paid and it was paid then. So, a few days later, I'm always checking with Chris as like a sense check, as like, am I doing this right? I mean, what I haven't done, and it's I know you do this, is you keep a record of all your mileage and then you transfer the actual amount. I haven't done that since I've started on QuickBooks, which was January. I think what I will do is for this tax year, I may well do it at the end of April. I'll transfer an amount to cover it. I still don't know how all the end of tax year stuff works on QuickBooks, but actually this year ending March 25, I will still use my old system, and it's only like next year that I'll be using QuickBooks. So I got QuickBooks because I had an offer for £1. I got it in January. So that covers me for the year. So I thought, 3 months of getting used to it. And then, from April to March 25, 26 is when I'm actually using it for my business. So I've got all that, like, what's the process for the end of the year? And I did one lot of, what are they called? Grossing up. And I've got a whole load more to do. I don't think it's difficult, but it's just one of these things I should do. So I've probably got about like 15, 16 lots of grossing up, because it's for the payment per week. What do they call it? Your payout. Philip, closing too much hassle. I tell you what, pros and cons, ups and downs with it, because I was doing a lot of like high value electronics, which, hassle to pack, hassle to test. But I did it because of other benefits in obviously the profit. When I was used to sell a big electronic item, I was used to say, God, to think how many shirts that is. The good thing about clothing is you do get good profit margin. The availability of it. So, if you're into gaming, it's not easy to go out and get gaming stuff. because it's so popular and scarce, good stuff. But there is a lot of clothing out there. But I think with the sort of society who will wear things and then donate them. Things that get in the way are obviously charity shops hiking up prices and being aware of fakes. But the one thing I really like is the ease of packing and the consistency of storage. So I'm kind of in the middle of switching over, which is quite hard. But I was tidying, my storage area this weekend, and I was just loving the fact that like there were all these kind of long boxes just full of stock, and when they sell, I just grab them out. I mean, I'll show you some. These are my sales today. So that is the gilet that I had, and then it's just all this, and these literally. I've said it before, and there are other people who've said it before. The ease of packing is just beautiful. So yeah. Right. Well, let's have a look at these non-clothing items. A DSi XL will be sold. I could get a charging cable for it, like a USB one. It only costs a couple of quid. I did order a load up last year, but I'm not going to. I'll stick a couple of games with it, and let's have a look at how much a DSi in really good condition goes for. Yeah, but do let me know what you all picked up at the weekend. Good to hear. What kind of blue is that? They normally have names, don't they? Cerulean blue. Let's have a look at solds. I'm hoping it's about 70. Could be more. Location UK. Used. Buy it now. It's one for 93. That's a yellow one though. 45. That seems a bit low. 70. Yeah, 70 was about what I was thinking. So what's that got with it? It's a charity shop. It doesn't come with a 70 quid. I'll stick a couple of rights, free post. I'll stick a couple of games, and I will try and get $74.99. It should sell at that, so I will probably hold out for that. Again, I don't mind keeping things like that, small items. I mean, if it doesn't sell all year, which is, I'll be very surprised if it. I'm going to take offers off it actually, because I do want it to sell for that price. It's easily obtainable. That will probably sell like when people are going on holiday, I would think. So $74.99 for that. We'll do some photos, get a couple of crappy games. Let's check out these crappy games. So there's one called Rooms and one called Witch's Curse. So I imagine that will come back at $10.95. Can't be right. Witch's Curse sold. £5, 8p, free delivery, $10.99. Brand new and sealed, partially sealed, £3.26. So that's a cruddy game. That's a filler. And Rooms, I'm pretty sure this is a crud game because I think it's one of those puzzle games, like escape room things. Let's have a look. Is it crud? The main building. Rooms, the main building. Can't even find it. It's so bad. It's not even being sold. Or perhaps it's incredibly rare. No, there we go. £3.64. So, £7 worth of games there. We'll stick that with that. And then the other one I've got is a rose pink 3DS. do love a 3DS. So 3DS pink. And again, I'll stick a couple of games with this. 3DS, 3DS XL. Okay. More filters needed. UK. Used. Bin. A 3DS XL. Why does it keep giving me the XLs? Don't give me the XLs. Model. 3DS. Some of them have got games installed. Coral Pink, 89.94. So I think I'll go for. It's just one with a game, £104. I think I'll go £100 at 99.99. And again, I won't take it. There seem to be some for 80 and some for like over 100. I'll try 99. Again, I was thinking 70 in my head. Right, we'll get those on later. Right, clothing. So again, let's. I got. I think I got a bad haul a few weeks ago. It was the one, Mark, you saw me carry, and I kind of. I think it would be. I spent like 100 and something quid, and I think some of it was okay, but some of it isn't too great. It worked out. My error was I said to the guy, "Have you got any fleeces?" And he brought out a load. And I started looking through, and they were like Champion and Fila. But I'll tell you what, I had to steam all of them because they were all completely flattened, and I just don't think they're great items. It worked out about £4 each, and when you get a haul like that and you get it back and you just hope to make your money back, you just kind of think, oh, and I'm just wondering whether I will actually make my money back on it, whether things are going to sell at all. So, it does bring home the point that it does pay to look at that rather than the £15 item. It's better to look at like the 25 to 30 plus, 50, 70, obviously better. And, seeing a feeder fleece and thinking, oh, that's good for £3 or £4. I could sell that for 15. It's like, nobody wants it, So, So I'm left with this haul I've got to sort out. But there was one item in it, or there's a few items, which are just ridiculous. And I will actually get those because I do want to list those. I also can give you an example of the sort of stuff. So one of the first things I saw in the bundle was this, and I thought, God, that's quite natty. And it's a Billabong fleece. Which I remember Billabong from when I was in Australia. So I think that might go okay. But then there's stuff like this. This is a Start fleece, and it's so like crushed. I was trying to. There's a lot of what's it called? That sort of fleece that looks like a sheep. What's it called? I've forgotten the name of the bloody stuff. Velour, is it? No, it's not Velour. Let me have a look at my active listings. No, I did have a purple velour one. Wasn't that though? Oh, I can't remember what it's called. you kind of get like clump, like it's really fluffy. And stuff like this, champion fleece, and I kind of thought, oh, £4 champion, that's quite good. I don't know. Anyway, a better haul this week, which is good, and I've been around the charity shops and I've got a good haul there. Anyway, so this is the ridiculous thing I got in that bundle, which is a Ralph Lauren polo, but the size is 5XL. It's just crazy. It's a monster. It's an absolute monster. Do I mean polar fleece? No. What do I mean? I could just show you one, couldn't I? That'd be easier. Here's one I prepared earlier. So again, this is part of that bundle. So it's a fleece, it's Fila, yeah, but it's that. You see, there's all bits of this. I'll put a note on this going that if this sells, I've really got to look at it again. What's that called? Sherpa. That's what the word I'm looking for. Thank you, Fletch. Yeah, Sherpa. Anyway, so bit annoyed with the bundle really, and I got it, and then you kind of, as the realization, then you kind of like, oh, I've got to list all this. I've been making myself get through the list because there's about 30 items in there, so spent over £100, 30 items. I'll probably stick some of them on Vinted as well, just to try and get some sort of. But it was nice getting the bundle this week. A lot better stuff. And listing some of my other stuff. So, what did I get this week? Pairs of Levi's jeans, diesel jeans. It was a nice Ralph Lauren jacket with a cream jacket with American flag on the back. Aquascutum long coat. There's a Barber jacket in there. Some Lacoste jackets, nice sort of mod stuff. Hackett polo shirts, Pringle jumpers. Couple of All Saints Pearl Snap stuff. There's a Lacoste jacket. There's Levi's shirts. So and I was okay. Sometimes Shell mentioned it on her stream. Are you worried that when I mentioned that I got this big haul from the guy at the boot fair who was not reselling clothes anymore? Are you worried that I'm just not getting all his old crap? Well, that's what I got from the first guy. But this guy, he had loads of sort of stuff. And when I picked it out, he said, oh, you're going for all the better stuff. And the good thing is I've got a contact number for him as well. So, yes. Anyway, it's all a learning experience. I'm no expert in clothes, but, it's... the good thing is I feel like I'm doing quite well profit-wise. My worry is that I'm just going to be left with loads of stuff. So like all that first bundle was like, anyway. How much is a 5XL Ralph Lauren polo shirt? So this was from Crap Bundle, but hopefully this will give me a bit of profit. He said hopefully. So polo Ralph Lauren. The thing is, they only do 5XL in the States because they eat all the burgers. I don't think you can even get it over here. That's what the guy said. He also said that he had a brain tumor as well. So I think that kind of like, I shouldn't believe anything. I mean, he may well have had that. So, but I just need to sort of just believe nothing, because some people will use that for a sympathy vote. And I was sympathetic at that boot fair, even though it was like 6 a.m. and I was still half asleep. It probably made me buy it and not question it. But yeah. should just go in with a business head, but sometimes it's difficult. Right, UK only. Let's get this big boy polo shirt drafted. Yeah, yes. I've got another really nice fleece from Good Bundle. It's just like Good Bundle. It's like Good Cop, Bad Cop, Good Bundle, Bad Bundle. Got a really nice. I didn't know the label when I was sort of talking with the guy about it. I said, I don't know the label. And he goes, yeah, I think I picked it up just because of the pattern. So, yeah, definitely a good pattern will sort you out. Hello. Who have I not said hello to? Peter Ray. Did I say hello to Peter Ray? I've got to say hello to Peter Ray. Right, Ralph Lauren, 5XL, pit to pit, 31 in blue, 34.99. So if I sell that for 34.99, you know, profit wise, I've probably made like, 28, 29 quid on it. And I'm thinking, well, that's some of the 100 and whatever it is I spent on that back. That's a good chunk back. And I've got 30 crap items to do it. I would go for higher, large size. Yeah, it does. Yeah, I'm always disappointed when I get a small. Small people don't buy clothes. Really weird. Sam Bastard asked me for a gilt discount. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, people are just like ridiculous. Although I've got a slight headache, so can you go and get me like another 10,000 subs? That'd be good. Right. There's only one 5XL here for a polo shirt. Oh, no, I tell lies. Another one, 35. 35. 35 all day long, isn't it? I've got to get on the ball with this Ralph Lauren polo because you have all this big pony stuff and it's all a load of old pony. That needs a clean. So we need to sort that out. It's like a bit of car grease, but that'll come out. So yellow, nice yellow Ralph Lauren, a chubby checker. And we'll draft that up as 35. It's very confusing when someone called Peter comes in, and it happens quite a lot because everyone says hello, Peter, and I'm thinking, I'm sure Antoinette's been here since the start. She's talking to Peter Ray, of course. Yeah, so Pete Hook looked like it was going to be rubbish, but ended up being all right. And Pete did well on some football shirts. I saw a video of his not too long ago. I think he's done a couple since. So we've got another big boy. I don't think this is as big. Oh, no, that's a small. What am I talking about? Is it this one? Oh, no, that's a medium. So, yeah, that is like big pony. I did wonder about these. Like, are they fake? Because the label, I was expecting the label to be like down here, but that is normal from what I, look into. So big pony, orange. Let's get this one drafted. Please be worth £20. Is it the big pony ones that are only available in the States? I don't know. Yeah, the strange thing was I had these Ralph Lauren's and the big boy and the Billabong, and I think I had like another fleece, and I was only going to buy 5 items of this guy, and then I kind of thought, oh, this is quite good, and got chatting and he's probably drawing me in, and then I said, have you got any fleeces? And really, I'm looking for stuff like Berghaus and all those walking type fleeces, and good stuff. And he bought out a whole box. And I offered him a price, and I was thinking in my head, if I can sell a fleece for 15 to 20, I shouldn't have given him a price. Stupid, novice mistake. I should have waited to see what he said. Anywho, you live and learn. Learning all the time. And sometimes you do these things and you go, God, I know not to do that. It's a bit like Kristen when he got the Canada Goose. You just kind of like, I know. What was I thinking? But hopefully you can have more better days than days like that. So that's got a number 3 on the side. Woohoo! So there's one for 30, one for 19, one for 16, one for 11, one for 29, one for 17, one for 24.99. That's nice, actually. It's got some lettering and stuff around it. I think we try 24.99. Might be a bit optimistic, but that's a size M. This looks almost exactly the same. Yeah, I don't know why I worry so much about fakes with Ralph Lauren. And I'm going to have to look more into what to look out for, because a lot of the brand stuff is quite easy to check, because there'd be the spare buttons on the care label, and the buttons might have the name of the thing, but Polo Ralph Lauren don't seem to do that. Okay, this all needs a good steam anyway, so we'll do that at £24.99. £247.99. We'll save that for later. And then this kind of orange one. So yeah, this will fit me actually. Although it is a small, but I have been losing some weight. I managed to lose about 4 kilograms, which is a bit of a touch. So that's a small size. I think this is going to be like 15 quid. But then again, if it goes for that, if I get 35, 25 and 15 out of 3 items from that bundle, I'm thinking that makes up for all of these Fila cheap jackets I've got and God knows what. UK. I don't know why I'm trying to. I've just put it in. I'm searching for this exact item. No, I go for about 20 quid. It'll be going. I mean, it'll have offers on it straight away, and it'll also be promoted at 7%. Maybe 20. Might be a bit kind of unrealistic, but we'll try it. We'll try 20. And we'll have a look at that Billabong in a minute. So really, I'm just researching prices here and getting it drafted up. There'll be a lot of I do the photos and make sure all the item specifics are fine. But it's just half the trouble with listing is starting the bloody listing. Yeah, this is a nice fleece. But what do other people do when they've bought like a bundle, especially from whatchamacallit, from a supplier, and you have flattened clothing. I started brushing and like it got really on my throat. I don't know whether it was some cleaning agent that was used in it or some sort of powder, or whether it was just the fleece. And then I tried to wash for some of these like fluffier items. But steaming is the way to go. Right, let's have a look at this then. This is really one for Google image search. UK. I might actually take a quick picture of it. And again, I would normally do this in the table. Oh, hang on, I've had a missed call. I'll do that in a bit. Okay, let's Google image search this. Hopefully it'll give me sought after Billabong fleece. Oh, Google image me. Here we go. There she is, Billabong UK. Boundary half zip furnace fleece for men. And there's one on. Oh, don't you hate it when you see it on eBay, but then it just takes you into the sort of general listing? Now, are these US listings? I think a lot of this stuff is from the States. $48. And I don't like it when I see videos of people's hauls and they post up an image of the US price. I'm always like, nah. Macari. Lou Macari. Okay, there's a couple from America, so it's not surprising, really. So if it's $48 over there, Billabong Adventure Fleece. Adventure Fleece quarter zip. Yeah, nothing in this country. I mean, if I don't know, I think I'd probably go for like 25. Maybe 29. Adventure Division. Oh, there it is. 42 pounds. Oh, 42 pounds in this country. New other. Let's try $29.99. See how we go. Boom. Right, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 items of clothes, 2 DSs. This grey champion fleece, which is kind of like just a nondescript half zip. Not a lot to it, really. This will be a 15 quid job. There's no spell out or anything. It's all just very, boring. Got a thing on the side, champion logo on the side, and pretty boring. I think there has to be something about everything you buy, whether it's just like stupid demand for the label, or you can't just have like boring brand, boring item. You're not going to get anywhere with it, and it's the low hanging fruit, isn't it? Everyone's going to be selling that. Yeah, I'm going to try like 15 quid for it. There's one, a kind of similar one that sold for 17, but we'll try. We'll try 14.99. I'll be glad just to get a sale from this. So that'd be good. Right, I'm going to go a little bit early today. 5 minutes early. School's out early. Hope you all have a great Monday. Have a great week as well. And great sales, great sourcing, and all that malarkey. I will see you for the next one. I don't know when it will be because things are a bit crazy here at the moment, but I will try and do it when I can, and keep you all posted on how my little venture into clothing reselling is going. It's going all right at the moment. So yeah. Anyway, have a great day, and I'll see you for the next one. Take it easy.